The world feels smaller and more dangerous than what it did just a few weeks ago. With conflict escalating in the Middle East, the headlines are screaming about oil spikes and a potential surge in inflation. And while the world looks at all of this, the Australian families are looking at a much bigger problem. And that is inflation. And we know what happens when inflation increases, the interest rates rise as well. Hi, I'm Adeal from Ariza Buyers Agency, where we help families to grow their money so that they can spend more time doing what they love. With house prices already at record highs, does another conflict in Middle East mean that the crash is coming for us? Or is the Australian property market about to become the world's ultimate safe haven? Today, we are going to look into the facts of this recent conflict and its impact on Australia, purely from economic point of view, not from a political one. So at Ariza Buyers Agency, we have seen events that have changed property investing for Australians and made it more tricky for the families to achieve financial freedom. Whether they were the lockdowns of 2020 or the start of wars in Europe and the Middle East in 2022 and 2023. Now we face a new challenge, conflict involving Iran. I will break down three big pillars: safety, security, and inflation, and how they can shift trends in Australia forever. We will look at history like the 1970s oil crisis and see how the markets actually react. And I'll show you why, even in a world on fire, Australian property remains one of the strongest assets on the planet. Let's talk about the big issue, inflation. Australia's inflation was already sticky, and the recent conflict has pushed oil prices even higher. It starts at the servo. When the petrol goes up, the cost of moving everything, including groceries, timber, bricks, everything goes up across the board. In 2025, the big four banks believe that there will be further rate cuts in 2026. But as of now, we have already seen 2 rate hikes, and it seems like we are not yet done with the rate hikes. Higher oil prices can keep interest rates higher for longer in order to stop inflation. For you, this means the borrowing capacity may remain tight. But remember, inflation also means that the cost of building new houses like land, labor, material is also increasing. You can't build a new house today for what you could 5 years ago or even 2 years ago. This pressure from inflation is also adding to higher property prices even as the interest rates rise. Now, it's important to understand that a lot of people think that war equals to a housing crash. But the history says the opposite. When we look back at the 1973 oil crisis, when OPEC's embargo sent oil prices up by 400%, the world got hit with stagflation. While the economy struggled, the Australian property prices did not vanish. They actually held their ground. In the early 2000s, during Middle East wars of Iraq and Afghanistan, despite massive global uncertainty, Australian property market entered one of its biggest booms. Why? Because when the world feels unsafe, capital goes to the safe harbors. And according to data from Property Council of Australia and ABS historical sets, Australia has a track record of property values increasing during times of global conflict because we are geographically isolated. Why Australia? We are the lucky country for a reason. Number one, billionaires' investment. Australia is geographically separated from the rest of the world. While it may not be ideal when you are booking your next vacation, this does help when conflicts around the world arise. That's one of the main reasons why billionaires are buying homes and bunkers in Australia and New Zealand to safeguard themselves in case things go wrong. Number two, energy independence. We are a massive exporter of LNG and coal. While we pay more at the pump, our national economy benefits more with higher global energy prices. We have a cumulative shortfall of 1.3 million homes as per Property Council of Australia. A war in Iran does not build more homes in Sydney or Perth. In fact, it might even slow down the construction of new homes due to supply chain issues, making existing homes even more valuable. Number four, repatriation and migration. When things get tense in the Northern Hemisphere or the Middle East, we see an influx of expat investment. The Australians living abroad come home. The wealthy families in volatile regions want safe places to park their wealth. We saw a glimpse of it during 2020 COVID lockdowns, but majority of the investments at that point went to the Middle East, to places like Dubai, where the property prices skyrocketed like never before. So my question to you is, what would happen if investments from Dubai or other rich Middle East countries start flowing into Australia? What would that do to Australian property prices? So in all of this, how can you take advantage and set yourself up for retirement and secure your and your family's future? We believe that chaos is a filter. In a booming, easy market, everyone looks like a genius. In a market where everything is assumed to be going south, the noise scares the newbies away. This is when the best deals are made. If you can secure a quality asset despite all the fear out there, while others are waiting for the perfect time, you are buying while competition is potentially lower. We are seeing a trend where property growth is very steady despite these global tensions. The fundamental pillars of our market, migration, supply shortage, and a strong banking system, they are all going strong. The landscape of safety and security has changed, but the path to financial freedom has not. It still requires a long-term view, a solid strategy, and the courage to act when others are scared to take that next step. Don't let the headlines dictate your family's future. If you're looking to buy home or investment property in this new normal, then we have opened a few one-on-one spots for strategy calls. We will look at your numbers, your goals, the current market data, and help you build a plan that is conflict proof. Click the link in the description below to book your call with us at Ariza Buyers Agency. Until then, happy buying, and I'll see you in the next video.